And welcome to the No Assembly Required podcast, a podcast where we talk about nothing every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time-ish, except when I'm late. And now your trio of hosts, starting with Audrey Ember. And of course, your second hearse, Romina, I Pity the Fool. And your final host, the Dark Lord of the Internet himself, your favorite defense against the dark arts teacher, Roberto Blake. Welcome to the No Assembly Required podcast, filmed in front of a live YouTube audience. Please like and subscribe.
Wow. Amazing.
That was a crowd. The crowd's going wild.
Oh.
Absolutely incredible. So, guys, there was a thunderstorm that happened for approximately 45 minutes, but it was so intense that there was lightning that was lighting up my entire room. And at one point, I decided to film all of the lightning that was happening outside. And there was an explosion of some kind. Like, I saw it in the distance. It's probably like maybe 4 miles or 5 miles out, at least.
You saw the explosion or you saw the lightning?
The explosion. There was an explosion that happened. It was an explosion. It was like a transformer. Something blew up in the distance, like an alien vessel crash landed. I don't know what it was, but it happened, and I saw it with my own 2 brown eyes.
Wow.
I promise y'all, it was. You know what? I'm going to show you.
It didn't happen.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now.
You said you were recording, right?
Yeah, I was recording. Here, I'm going to show you what. I'm going to show you what was going on here.
Dude, I haven't seen rain in so long. What is rain?
It's always, when you're trying to record, it's always something. If it's not those damn space aliens, it's somebody mowing the damn lawn.
Oh, let's get rid of the that comment right there. All right. For those of you who are listening, it behooves you. Yeah, to join us for the live stream every Thursday at youtube.com/noassemblypod. At every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time ish. All right, so this is the check it out on the left side, guys. Pay attention.
Whoa.
Right?
Dang.
And look, there was a second little one. You saw that?
That was some like
look, check it out.
BS. Yeah.
Here's the second one. Look. Did you see that? Well, like it was like a little spark again.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean the first one is the impressive one. It's like
that was like something out of the Flash. That was like
right.
Oh. Maybe it was an alien.
I'm saying it was an alien that crash landed. And they're here now. They're
here.
To
see a body.
You caught them.
I'll let you find the body, Roberto.
Oh, you don't want me to find the body, Romina.
Wait, why not? What's gonna happen?
Oh no. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Roberto, did you see the thumbnail that I created? It took me a while.
Hang on, let me.
You can go to Twitter, and I used it in the post, so you can look at it there.
Oh.
Why was mine like so noticeable?
Your Photoshop skills have improved dramatically. That's brilliant.
That's
really.
You like my little money pouch?
Yeah, I'm checking out the bling around your neck. That was well done too. Like,
thank you. Do you like the little diamonds that I gave you?
Screen. You should pop that up on the screen for the live viewers. That's amazing.
Oh my God. Wait, dang, you actually did go into detail on that.
She like went ham on Photoshop.
Yeah.
There's, like shadows in here and everything.
Yeah, of course I did shadows. Are you kidding me? I only go 100%.
100% maximum, no chill.
No chill.
No chill.
Yeah, I had a little bit of extra time because a thunderstorm was coming. And I figured, hey, you know what? I'll do this right now. Because I feel like something like this, it deserves. It's not always that I have extra time to
make a thumbnail especially beautiful.
Yeah, to work extra on the thumbnail.
Why did I get the mustache?
All right, listen. I was gonna put it on
the thought process.
It's because you're looking straight on. That was the easiest way to go.
Exactly. Yeah, it was the easiest thing.
The monocle, the mustache, that was the easiest thing to go straight on.
I was going for like Mr. Monopoly type thing.
Yes.
Even though Mr. Monopoly doesn't have a monocle, but
wait, doesn't
he? Yeah, no, you're right. Somehow
he doesn't.
I just imagined him in my head with a monocle. He just has the top hat and the mustache.
Yeah, that's a Mandela effect. A lot of people swear that there's a Mr. Monopoly with a monocle.
Mm-hmm.
No,
yeah. Son of a bitch.
Audrey's Googling. Audrey's like,
no, I have this one. Well, I mean, for the people in the live stream, I have in my office like.
What? Wait, when did you get those, Roberto?
Oh, I got those weeks ago.
Oh well, yeah, okay, but I haven't seen them.
I've been posting that to Twitter a lot. I've been posting that to Twitter a lot, and I posted like a mini office tour.
All right, well, Roberto, I don't watch every single thing that you post on Twitter.
You should.
Wait, I'm trying
How dare you?
Audrey, are you gonna show us something?
I'm trying to copy.
Yeah, but I've got these I've got this set of 6 pieces of Monopoly inspo: patience, ambition, failure, happiness, persistence, success.
What? That's cool. Where'd you get those?
Iconic store.
Huh.
The same place I got my dreams weigh more than excuses, where the butterfly is weighing more than the elephant. Like, that's a dope one. I also have the Benjamin that you see over the like, you've seen the Benjamin over the couch though, right? The big old gold $100 bill over the couch.
I'm not sure if I did. I don't know if I've seen that. Audrey, what have you sent me here? This looks like a virus.
I'll like post the pictures.
Audrey just sent me a giant link with a bunch of.
It's a picture of the Monopoly Man.
Well, you couldn't have gotten a better one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's on Quora.
I don't know.
Who links to Quora?
I was just on Google Images.
I answered over 150 questions on Quora because I'm a boss.
Oh, you know who's got the wait, really, Roberto?
Yeah, I just texted you in our group chat. I showed you my room setup.
Wait, Roberto. The really Roberto was in reference to you answering questions on Quora?
Yeah.
Was it for like a video, or were you just like sitting there anonymously responding to questions?
Not even anonymously. I'm Roberto Blake on Quora, and so like I have a whole like thing, and I answer people's questions about various things.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. You just do that. What's the what do you get out of that?
I haven't figured that out yet.
All right.
This is how Roberto procrastinates.
So
just goes on Quora and answers questions.
I think so. The one who's got the monocle is Mr. Peanut.
Oh,
right?
Is there a difference?
I think Mr. Peanut has a monocle.
Wait, I didn't know.
I am gonna share some of the pictures of Roberto's studio setup so that y'all can see what he's dripping.
Is that what we're calling it?
I don't know. We're talking about money, aren't we? All right, guys. So here's a little couch. With a humidifier. I'm doing the narration here. This is for the people who are listening.
With the audio.
Yeah, for the audio. So we got a nice little shelf here with some cameras up at the top. A nice plant. Is that a real plant? That's a real plant.
It's a real plant. That's a real plant.
You're watering it. You're taking care of it.
It's alive, isn't it?
Well, I'm asking if you're taking care of it or does somebody else take care of it?
I take care of it.
All right. Freaking getting all smart with me. It's alive, isn't it? And it's got a little subscribe pillow, a little Throwboy subscribe pillow on the couch. We've got a golden and black Benjamin just hanging out on the wall there. That's pretty cool. Did you get that at the same place that you got the Monopoly
Iconic
stuff?
Store. Yeah.
Cool. And then over here,
the Mario stuff is all from ThinkGeek. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the mushroom, the question mark brick. Yeah.
Cool. And I think, is that Alexa that I see there? Is that an Alexa?
Yeah, it is.
And all right, so the second one, we got your little whiteboard for your live streams and stuff and brainstorming sessions.
Whiteboard, yeah. I can move that around. It's on wheels. It's a whiteboard on wheels.
Nice. And you got a couple computers. You got some pops. You got a poster that says "Dreams weigh more than excuses," and it's got an elephant on a seesaw
with a butterfly.
It's a big butterfly.
Or a little
elephant. Or it's a small elephant. Yeah, a baby elephant.
Yeah.
And then you got another.
Are mostly Star Wars Funko Pops there.
Roberta, you wanna read your poster with some oomph?
Success is born of faith and undying passion and a relentless drive. Quote by Stephen Curry.
Beautiful. And finally, we've got the Monopoly things on the wall.
Those are cool.
Check those out, guys. Get back up and try again. Is this get out of jail?
Yeah.
Or the go to jail card?
No, it's get out of jail because it's kicking them out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So which one is the go to jail card?
I'd have to look. But this is the one for getting out of jail, like where you can just leave and it's just like it's kicking you out. The ambition, it's never enough. That one I like a lot because I just like the way it looks. I like how he's just like popping out of the money and it's like that's kind of dope.
Yeah.
I like also the persistence, the don't give up, keep going, because he's like he has, he's Mr. Monopoly, but in this case he has a little like the hobo satchel, like the whole like what do you call that when you have like it's the hobo thing? It's like but you have a handkerchief with all your possessions tied to a stick. Like I forget what the name for that is.
Right. Yeah.
Was that just a made up thing, or did people actually do that?
I think people did.
No, people did that. I mean, people didn't have a lot of stuff, and there weren't backpacks. So it was just an easy way to carry a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And it legit works. I actually did it as a costume once. There was a thing back when I was in school. There was literally, we had all these like Spirit Week stuff, and one of them was dressed like a hobo day, and so like I
How was
yeah.
Roberto.
I went all out for Spirit Week, man. I didn't play around for Spirit Week.
Roberto, how do you have that sounds horrible. That sounds horrible.
I was like, yes, that's a good one.
Right, just like let's just dress up.
That would not work in 2020. I swear to God.
No. I can imagine why.
Like someone would be like, but this is how I dress every day.
I feel like there were like hippie days and stuff though.
There was stuff like that. There was like a backwards day, so everyone did the crisscross thing. Which is dope.
All right, I'm gonna keep looking through. Is that a toucan?
Yes, it is. It's a metal toucan.
Why?
Because I saw it on my birthday.
Why?
And I was like, yep. Metal
Roberto.
Yeah.
Roberto, why?
You're making it a meme now. Yeah. See?
This is
Roberto.
See how epic that is? It's like, it's something to talk about. It's a conversation piece.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. A conversation piece,
It
sure.
also
Wait,
just
what's it
looks
on?
good aesthetically in the background when I stream on Twitch, to be honest with you. Just like the game over. The game over, that appears like in the little corner, like when I'm streaming on Twitch. So it's just
It's
like,
a thing. It's a thing to talk about. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at those guys.
well, you got
Amazing.
Mr. Beast. I got the limited edition. I actually have 2 of those that are still in the box because I bought same thing with the PewDiePie one. So I got the Mr. Beast Funko Pop, and I have Dragon Ball Z, and I have some Super Mario action figures, different remotes for all of my lights and stuff like that. Stream Deck, remote for my drone.
Yeah, we got like the drone stuff. We got
I have a
tripods and stuff.
PewDiePie figure over there too.
Oh, I like your board here for your tripods.
Yeah.
For your
gimbals.
sorry,
It's mostly
tripods, gimbals. Sorry.
Yeah, there's one tripod. The rest
Yeah,
are all
tripod.
gimbals.
Yeah. Cool. These are the batteries.
Those are batteries, and those aren't for the gimbals. Those are batteries for the different cameras and for the drones. And there's like on the side of the computer, you probably can't see it, but on the side of that computer desktop, there's like a whole charging like station kind of set up, where like I can hot swap out batteries and charge them. It's not as sophisticated as Casey's whole deal with that he had in his office, but it's but I have all the different camera sizes for my cameras that I regularly use, and I just hot swap.
Okay.
And then I put the spares up there, and then I have like a TV media tray. I think I sent you stuff with that, like in another photo or something to your phone. But like, I have a monitor, like a TV monitor that I use when I shoot my YouTube videos, especially if I'm doing like a unboxing or top down. And so I keep spare batteries there to plug faster into, like, because it's right there while I'm filming, into the camera in case it runs out. If I'm not running power to the wall, and I have remotes and stuff like that. So I have a place and a something for everything. Like it's, yeah.
Cool.
Here, I've got the other 3 images here.
Yeah, office tour coming soon. That's a panoramic, so you kind of get a sense of the space.
It's kind of trippy.
Yeah, it's a panoramic. I mean, you can see that there's a point where it's like, because the room is so big, you guys have actually been to the house before, so it's like I had to go extra. That shadow or that thing you see in the like bottom center there, that's like tugboat like moving, like that squiggly
It's the
thing.
aliens.
He's moving. He's like, running
The aliens
around.
that crash landed.
Yeah, but I mean, it gives you a sense of like proportionality and about like the size of the room.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I see you've got your backup.
Yeah,
over
my
here.
NAS. Yeah.
Okay,
My 64 terabytes.
that's pretty good. And then this stuff.
Yeah, I was unboxing something.
Okay,
I think it was my new gimbal. Yeah.
cool. And your monitors.
Nice.
Yeah, my desktop. It's a single monitor. It's a 49-inch widescreen. I replaced the dual monitors you're used to with this 49-inch widescreen, but I'm gonna take my I'm gonna take the monitor on the other desk that you saw, give my brother that, and take back my smaller monitors that used to be on my main desk, and go back to dual monitors, but on the other desk, the other desk on the side where the Monopoly pieces are. It's gonna go to dual monitors, and it's gonna be my main gaming setup because it's easier to do Twitch when you have 2 monitors instead of one big one. To be honest, like it's I thought widescreen would be good for playing video games and streaming, and it turns out that 2 dual monitors for, all right, here's Twitch chat, here's my game, it's actually better. So
Can you tell us about these little lights?
the Philips Hue lights or the big old lights?
No.
The Elgato lights?
These lights.
All right, so those are the Elgato lights. Big old diffused lighting. It's what's lighting me right now. And they have these multi-mounts that clamp to the desk. And so I can adjust the height, and I can control their power from an app in my phone or with a Stream Deck if I have that hooked up, which I don't right now because I have another one, not the one on that desk. And so right now I can change the temperature or the power output of these lights, and I go, oh, that's blinding. That's that. So, yep.
Ooh.
So
Let's
I
look
can
at this.
control that.
Hey, check it out, guys. I'm Roberto Blake. All right, that's pretty cool. So, Roberto, now that we've ventured into this into flexing hour.
I don't really think it's like flexing. But...
No. I mean, it's perfect. This is a segue into the discussion. Flexing hour. So you've obviously built up all of these things that you've bought
over the years.
Did you have a plan for this, or is it kind of like well, now I have the money and I'm able to afford like the things that I want to try out now? Or was that always kind of like the plan?
It was a plan, but it was in phases, and I didn't always appreciate the importance of buying quality. I used to, when I didn't have money, I would buy what was good enough. Now I buy the best because I have to continuously use it, and I've found that I've spent more money over time because of like making compromises and upgrading instead of just starting from the top and saying this is what produces the best result, this is what's the fastest thing, this is what's the best thing, this is the thing that's not going to need to be upgraded. It's cheaper to not have to upgrade, to be honest.
Right.
Or it's cheaper to not have to upgrade and then to add on to having the best base foundation of what you need. Primary example, this audio setup, and by the way, I now finally have like, you notice my audio is like much better now lately?
Yeah, it sounds really nice and crisp today.
Perfect settings, because my friend Nick Nimmin helped me out with my audio settings in my Rodecaster, and I'm using a cloud lifter. But now I've for my whole career, there's so many pieces of audio that I've bought, buying slightly more expensive audio over time, trying to get it right, trying to find the cheapest, best solution, when the answer was just to buy the best solution without worrying about how cheap it is. And again, that's a thing you work your way up to, or you save up for it. Because I still save up when I want things. I don't just, I still, or I do it really practically. Or if I charge it, I use a no interest credit card and pay it off before the interest ever hits. So I do it smart. But the thing is, it's a resource. It's an investment in my craft, in my career. It's an investment in giving my audience who supports me the best experience possible. Yeah. So like, my audience supports me. My audience helps me make a good portion of my income. It's worth investing back to say, well, you're supporting me, and when you watch my content or you listen to my content, you're going to get the best audio that I can provide, or you're going to get the best video that I can provide. You've helped me make more money than it cost to give you better quality. So it's worth it to me, and it's a way to respect the audience to invest in what you put out, you know?
Yeah.
That's how it is. And the other thing is, when I was an employee, they sometimes compromised and didn't give me the best things to work with, and it made my job harder, but I wasn't in a position to complain because it's not my company and I didn't buy the resources myself. So I couldn't complain about what I have. I could put in a purchase request, but usually it wasn't going to go anywhere. So working for myself, I was like, well, I have to be in this office all day. I'm going to have the most dope environment, because this is hard work. This stuff is stressful. This stuff is like, so I need stuff to motivate and inspire me and to make me feel good, or to whatever. So I gave myself, because when I was an employee, I had to work in a boring, depressing environment in many ways that I couldn't tailor to suit my personality. So I'm not going to treat myself worse or treat myself as bad as I was treated as an employee in the name of being quote unquote frugal. I think that's stupid. You know, if you have to, and when you don't have it, you do. But even down to just plants, you know, just down to plants. I mean, it was a way to do right by myself. And then a lot of what I invest in was about speed. I can't get time back. I can make more money, but if I have something that cuts the work down in half, it's worth it. So, because I got to use it every day. So that was the thought and intention. The thought and intention was to give myself the tools and resources and an environment that makes it easy and fun to work in, because that is what will get the best work out of me.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I also like thinking about the deliverables and how the audience is going to be affected by your purchases. Because I'm not going to name any names, but there are some huge YouTubers, some OG YouTubers who their video is average as far as quality is concerned. And their sound is horrible. And they've worked with some like big name actors and like people who are professionals, right? And I'm just in watching videos like that, I'm like, could they not have gotten proper sound? I just don't understand how you can have, you know, an A-list celebrity in a YouTube video and then the sound is just unbearable.
Or
know?
These people who they get brand deals and you know it's for a good bag and the video and audio quality is like average.
Right. It's just it kind of comes off as like, I don't care if I'm making, you know, C content.
Yeah, even if I'm I'm getting A-list opportunities or A-list
right.
money.
And you know, it's not even like I don't expect it to be, you know, cinematic quality. It's not that I'm expecting that, but it's more just like what I'm talking about specifically is like cracking audio or like, you know, just really bad audio or like overexposed like lighting and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, it's very simple. Like it doesn't have to be Spielberg quality.
I know
it's just
who
like
we can pick on right now. We can pick on Joe Rogan and that abomination of a studio bunker.
Oh yeah.
You get $100 million and this is the quality that you give us. Really, I'm offended.
Yeah, why does he look? I mean, he looks like he's in an oven.
I'm offended. Like I'm like that thing is horrible. It's got like who the
I just don't understand how that happens.
And the thing is, big YouTube Marquez has volunteered to come down and to fix their help. Like guys, I will help you get your shit together.
It's not even hard though.
I won't even charge you. No, I love how Sarah did a deconstruction. Is like, here's how to fix everything. Like, I mean, it's such a simple thing because I mean they're stationary. They don't even move. You know. Yeah. It's like, I mean, the one thing they got, and I'll always give them credit. The one thing they got is they got the audio right, sure, but everything else was god awful. The lighting, it looked like they were boiling alive. I mean, it looked like they were in the ninth circle of hell. Yeah, I mean, their previous setup. Like watch the content now. Their previous setup wasn't great, like you know, but it was digestible. It was simple and it worked, and I didn't have to complain. And it was cozy. It felt cozy, and the thing is, the whole thing was. It made it to where it was fine to not take this too seriously. Now it looks like you are try hard and you still suck. It's like you're a try hard and it's still not good enough. Yeah. But I want to step back into what you were talking about earlier, about buying the stuff and everything. Yeah. So I hate to say it, but Tai Lopez.
Oh my God, no.
No, listen up. Okay, so one thing that I did learn from Tai Lopez is
to buy a Ferrari or whatever it was.
He doesn't buy Ferraris.
He leases. No, it's a Lambo. Right?
He leases. Yeah,
they're Lamborghinis, and he leases them. But hold on, wait a second. So
I can defend that with the Graham stuff in defense, but go on.
So the one thing that I would say that I use is asking myself, is it an expense or is it an investment? And that's just, and he didn't come up with that. I'm just saying that he was the first time that I saw it. Yeah, that it was. So every time that I buy something, I think that I'm like, is this an investment or is it an expense? Mm-hmm. I agree. And you kind of talking about your live stream and kind of, you know, investing in your audience, and you use those words. So it made me think about that. But I'm in the same plane as you where, I mean, well, because of the fact that I've tried to minimize the amount of things that I own, I tried to have quality items over quantity. Yeah. And so I actually do take a long time before I make a purchase, especially if it's I mean, like, believe it or not, like I question even very small purchases because I'm not cheap. I like
Right.
very nice things. And I think you know that about me, Roberto.
Yes.
Because I am like, how much is it? $3,000? Here's my credit card. But
you like experiences too.
right.
You prefer experiences to things. Which most people should.
Right. And a lot of times those experiences are expensive. So I'm not like cheap or anything like that, but I am very conscious of, I'm very intentional with where I put my money.
I'm like that too, and you can kind of tell. And again, I think that there's a narrative like right now around this concept of like materialism and demonizing that, but it's just stupid moralism, because like I get a little bit of crap like that when I show off the office on social media, but I'm not really showing it off, because the thing is, it's intentional. And like I was showing it to a friend of mine recently, who hadn't actually seen where like I live since I moved. I was sending her some pics when we were talking about it. She was like, oh my God, I can see every aspect of your actual personality reflected in different parts of your room and the choices you made for that. And also, wow, everything that you do, there's a tool for that task. There's a tool for the task of everything you do, and you were really thoughtful about it. She was able to, like, from like 5-6 pictures, ascertain a lot about what's changed since last time she saw where I lived, because it was the other house. And so what you said about being intentional, like, matters. Like, you know that I was like, I'm going to live stream more, and I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to bring back my podcast, and I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to do Twitch for fun, but I'm going to do it seriously. And you can see that reflected in the choices I made around those things. I also don't like, you know me, I don't love clutter. And for me, I also hate cords. You know, I became obsessed with cable management. I got a wireless keyboard, but you know I love RGB aesthetic. You know that for my wrist, I went to mechanical keyboard, so I had to get a wireless, mechanical, RGB keyboard. And that
your standing desk.
My standing desk, ergonomic standing desk. This chair was sent to me by Main Gear, but I spent $900 on a standing desk, but it's also a whiteboard desk, so it actually has another functionality for helping me remember.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. Are you actually using that? Is that happening, or?
Yeah, no, I do. Like, especially like if I'm on a conversation and I need to, like, I don't want to type something, but I need to make a note. I just like pull out my draw and I just go and I write a note. You know, or if I absolutely need to remember something, or sometimes in an interview there's something that I want to remember, I'll write a note.
Do you have different colored markers?
I do, but I like the one that I keep on hand is mostly just the black, just because it's easy. You know, but I do have that, and I have it for my other whiteboard there. Like the whiteboard, that wasn't just for videos. That was for me for brainstorming. I felt like I was like, man, at work, I used to map out. While I was at work, I was like, I mapped out entire systems for the company on that damn whiteboard, and I miss doing that, and I can't just keep it all in my head or in my phone. I need to
finding that place. Finding that thing that's like familiar to you. And even when like I've set up a system for myself of like doing stuff a certain way, sometimes I'll still go back to how I might have done it previously in the past, because it just like, you know, breaks me from the mold, and it's just very there's like some organic type thing that happens. So the devious monkey in the chat says, I'm a virtual nobody on YouTube, and I still get shit from people for what I buy and show in my videos, not in my public comments, but in other ways.
Yeah, no, I
like
hear you. And
stuff?
I hear you. And I hate the demonization of like,
if they're friends, then you need to cancel them.
But yeah, but I hate the demonization of like nitpicking over how other people spend their money. I hate the concept of being generous or charitable with other people's money in terms of telling them how to spend it. And then also insisting that because you can't have things, they shouldn't have things, or they shouldn't buy things, or they shouldn't spend on things, or that somehow doing that's wrong, and saying, well, there's better uses of your money. I only say that kind of to people when they're complaining about their bills or their circumstances. It's like, well, why'd you buy the Jordans? Like, that's different. But like for people who, when it's not that their needs are compromised by them chasing a want, that's different. And when and the thing is, you don't know what a need is for somebody, because like if you're a content creator, sometimes you have to buy something to be able to produce the content that's going to excel your career. You might have to buy something to review on your channel in Tech October and Techtober because it gives you a shot at advancing your career, or at least being lumped in the same category or same tier as your peer group, because that chance exists, or to give you the opportunity to later maybe get a sponsor or do there's things you have to do. Those are necessary purchases, in the same way that if you're working in a corporate job at a Fortune 500, your wardrobe is a necessary expense. If you're a woman, sometimes getting your hair done, your manicure. If you're a man, you even have to get a manicure if you work at Fortune 500, because when you shake hands with people, it has to be a certain way. There's a.
To be honest, I think everybody should be getting a manicure. Like and pedicure. Like I really don't care what your sex is, but like.
But you get what I'm saying is that, like,
it's just pure hygiene.
But you get what I'm saying. There are
no, I totally get it. Yeah,
if you're not doing minimum wage work, your job and your career, there are investments that you have to make, but people judge you for it, and they judge you from their circumstances. Like, you're not supposed to live their life. You're not supposed to do things. You're not supposed to do things the way they would do it, because the reality is, if they were in your situation, they probably would have to do things or want to do things the way that you're doing it. And they're judging your choices from their circumstances, and that's wrong.
Yeah. Remember, there was this guy on Twitter who shall not be named, who criticized me.
I don't even remember the dude's name. That's how irrelevant that.
All right. Well.
I remember the conversation. I remember the criticism, but like.
So there was because of the laptop that I was going to get. That was one of them amongst the many criticisms, because apparently I didn't need all of the specs that the MacBook Pro, the new MacBook Pro, had. And I was like,
well, to say that you don't need that, because
how does he know?
I don't, because apparently you don't need it to do the things that I do, right? To like edit or to do any of the things that I do.
It's not like, it's a different story. Like if you were asking people for advice on what you should get, but you weren't. So like,
or
why
it's a different story.
Or
it's a different story if it's either one, a professional video editor, two, a professional filmmaker, three, a top tier YouTube content creator. And in many cases, they wouldn't be so presumptuous. They would probably ask you if you do feel you need, or they'd ask you about your render times, or they'd ask you what software you're using.
Right.
Like we're using, I'm trying to remember, do you use Final Cut or Adobe?
I use Final Cut.
Okay. Yeah. Me and Audrey are on the dark side.
Yeah. But I also wanted a good computer. Well, first of all, because I'm doing editing, and I wanted to be able to edit higher quality footage, like 4K.
Not only that, your old computer couldn't even handle the updates for Mac OS, because there's a certain
it was like 7 years old.
Yeah, there's a certain point where Apple just doesn't support that. So
it was 7 years old.
So he didn't even know your circumstances. Your computer is 7 years old. You're overdue for an upgrade. It's justified.
Yeah. And that was just like, and my computer worked fine. Like, you know, it wasn't that it was broken or anything, but it was just, it got to the point where the software was not running well with the hardware. But the reason I also wanted to get this computer was because
you wanted to go to 4K footage, and
I wanted to go to 4K footage. And then I also wanted to be able to, run, Premiere if I ever needed to. Which so far I haven't, for client work. Right. And because you never know, like what if I want to do After Effects, for fun? Like what if I want to try something, or, I just needed a power machine.
You were buying options.
Right.
And that's the other problem, is when you invest, you're investing also in options, and you're raising the ceiling on yourself. When you buy only what you need, you're also limiting yourself in terms of your ceiling and your circumstances, your capacity. And that's the mistake I feel I made when I was younger, and I was like, not even that much younger, but a few years ago or earlier in my career, I was like, it didn't save me. Like I didn't end up saving that $500 or $600. I ended up just having to spend it elsewhere, correcting the limitation later. I should have just bought into a higher ceiling instead of having to find a workaround later.
I
Being
still do
stuck
that
with the
all
limitation. Yeah, and being stuck with the damn limitation. And the thing is, it took me a while to understand that, and understand that's like, I'm not saving that much money if I'm ended up having to waste time figuring something out when I could have just spent like the money, because I can't get back the time that I'm spending fighting the limitation.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
make up the
Audrey probably has some stuff to say. She just bought a pair of sunglasses for $15, so that she's never gonna wear.
Yeah. No, I actually wore them the other day because I didn't have any in my car, and it was like, I'm going to use these
as a last resort. As a last resort.
Indeed.
But no, it's it was an investment, not an expense, as Ty Lopez would say. It was an investment because you bought it for the thumbnail.
It was the equivalent of hiring someone on Fiverr for the thumbnail, right?
I mean, I think the videos made like $5 or something, so maybe it'll pay for itself.
Maybe eventually, someday.
It will.
Baby.
It will, at some point.
Actually, by the time, like, give it another week, it'll probably.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But Audrey, what do you have to say about all of this stuff? Because we've been talking for like 15 minutes or so.
I mean, I feel like it's true. Like, I know that it's better to not be cheap sometimes, but sometimes I have to. Like, that's just kind of the reality. There's, it's like, I know I'm going to have to deal with the consequences. Like, it just happens.
No. Here's what's happening. No. All right. No. Here, Audrey. So here's the thing. You don't have to be cheap. You just have to be smart, because you can buy expensive things for less money. Yeah. You can buy quality things for less money. It might not be a new thing, but it's a quality thing.
I bought a $3,500 camera for $800, and this time it's not quote unquote clickbait or fancy tax deductions or whatever. I just bought it used. See, I just bought it used. When John Redinger decided to move to Blackmagic Cinema cameras instead of Sony, he sold all of his Sony gear. So he was selling a used Sony a7S II with the only flaw being that the tilty screen was just a little scuffed. It was a little scuffed. So it was cosmetic, but it was also that remember the A7S II, even last year, was like 4 years old. So he ended up he took 4 years of depreciation on that camera, which means that not only did he make his YouTube videos and make back the money, not to mention like on that, but he took 4 years of depreciation on that camera, which means he probably got about $2,000 off of it in taxes, assuming it wasn't a full write-off. And then when selling it, he got the $800 from me. So in addition to making his money, getting 4 years of usage on the camera, which is like, okay, you got it. You got your mileage out of the damn camera. He went profitable on it by selling it to me used. And I got a bargain because I bought a camera at roughly like almost a fifth, like a fourth or a fifth of the price of that camera, which was one of the best video cameras you could buy at the time, even like by current standards. So, and now I'm in setup because now that I bought at full price the $3,500 successor, the Sony a7S III, I can compare the S3 to the S2, something I wouldn't have been able to do. So I have, like, in that camera family, I have $7,000 worth of camera if you think about it, but I have it for $4,000. So you could look at things like that. And when you buy things, if they're for your business, there's tax write-offs, there's depreciations. The longer you have it, so you might as well buy quality. You buy quality at the top, you get your usage out of it, and then you're also depreciating it. And then when you've gotten all your depreciation and you've already upgraded, you hold on to it until you've taken all the depreciations. Then you sell it.
Yeah, that's what I did with my last camera. I just sold it recently. Now it's planned, but I was holding off because I didn't know if I would still need it or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I when I started to focus, I decided to do YouTube full time and like focus on my channel. I did I bought a a camera at the time. Everybody was using the little point and shoots, the power shots, and like all that stuff. And I bought one. It was like a $300 camera. I bought it new, like unused, came in the box. It was just open box, but it was unused. $50.
Jesus.
What?
Right? Crazy.
Yeah, you can find some pretty good deals. Like, I don't think it's ever good to like buy new gear unless.
If it is, if you can, and if you do it the way that I do it, because the thing is, I have a BH Photo credit card, 0% interest over 6 months.
I have a Best Buy credit card, and it has
6% cash back and no interest for what?
It depends on what you buy. It depends on what you buy, because it's like they have 12 months, 24 months. So like I bought my dad a TV for his birthday one year, and I had 24 months, 0 interest.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you buy. So it goes, I think it goes like
12,
3, 6 months, 12 months,
I think
24.
Amazon has 12 months. BH has 6 months. So with the camera gear stuff, so what I do is, and Audrey, you probably would get approved for a BH Photo video card. So like, they go through Synchrony Bank. They approve almost everybody. The thing is, so like for me, I buy mine on my credit card. Then I also had gotten a brand deal, so that helped. But even if you don't get a brand deal, here's the thing. If I didn't have that brand deal, it's $3,500. That's still technically less than my YouTube channel brings in a month, and it's one of my revenue streams. Now, not everyone has that situation, but hear me out. Even if you don't have that situation, let's say you buy a $3,500 camera, but you're using it for your business every single day. Here's the good news. It's like having it, and it costs you $10 a day to have it. All you have to do is get $10 a day out of value out of it. And in my case, my YouTube channel obviously is going to make that money, and I can pay it down over the 6 months with with 0 interest off of what I do as a YouTuber. But also with that kind of camera, even if you weren't doing YouTube and making money off of your ads, with that kind of camera, you can go out and do client work, and you can make that money back pretty damn easily with that kind of camera. But you have in 6 months, before any interest kicks in. The other thing is, the first year you get to also take a $500 or $600 depreciation on the camera against your taxes as a tax refund. So you have those advantages, and the longer you have that camera, and that camera is like, they're not going to make a successor to that camera for at least 3 years minimum. And so it's so good. You have all that time to make the money back on the investment, and it is an investment, and is the type of thing that if you do it right, one client, one opportunity, one gig or two could pay for the entire thing. So when you buy things and invest in things, in my opinion, you look at how you're going to make the money back, but also you could use things like 0% interest credit cards so that there's not a penalty for deferring the expense. There's no penalty because you have 6 months to make this money back before interest kicks in, before any interest kicks in, and it's worth it.
And this also applies to people who aren't going to be using it for work. This kind of advice where it's I mean, if you just want to buy yourself a nice camera, you know, because you're taking your family out to road trips and stuff.
Sure.
Then you go and you buy the thing using a credit card, one of these credit cards, where you can get the plan where you can do the 0% interest for X amount of time.
0% interest, and ideally no annual fee.
Yeah, which
you can negotiate dropping the annual fee too.
Right, and most cards these days don't have annual fees unless they're like a big card like Amex or something, where they
use it, but then
they give you like a lounge and you know, airport lounges.
You call them and you tell them you're thinking of canceling, and then you say you'll stay if they drop the annual fee, and they'll go fine.
Right, because most cards don't have annual fees anymore. It's like a thing that is in the past. It's going to get to a point where we probably won't even have them. I feel like
I'm okay with, I mean, I'm not being political by saying this, but I'm okay with any legislation that says no more annual fees on credit cards. I think we're all good with that. I think we're all good with that particular regulation. If there's a regulation that says, hey, guess what? It's now illegal to charge annual fees on credit cards. I think we're all like, yes, sign us up for that. Like, yes, approved. Congress, get the
Maybe
work.
that one person in the back is like, no.
I mean, okay,
That
here's the
person will
thing.
get-
So
that person will catch it in the parking lot.
I don't want to get super overtime with the podcast and not
Same.
dive into this because I think that it's important to kind of address the title of the episode, which is why you're broke. And I think it comes into financial illiteracy, which is something that was kind of discussed on Twitter the other day, Roberto, or that you discussed. But it is something that it's not just about, bookkeeping or stuff like that isn't taught in schools, but it's also learning these methods of using your credit card, because when people hear about these things, it's like, oh, hey, do you want this Best Buy credit card? It's 0% interest whenever you buy a TV for 24 months. Like, people get these promotions or they get these things like when they sign up for their credit card without really thinking about, or they don't know how to work it in their favor, right?
I'll give you a primary example. I go to the grocery store, usually Kroger's, and I use my discount points, and I end up saving like a crap ton of money. I end up saving like a crap ton of money. But I also go ahead and I put it on my Bank of America cash rewards card because I get 5% cash back. So I go and then I'm saving somewhere between 10 and 12% on my groceries that I have to buy anyway. I put it on the credit card and then I get 5% cash back on the money I just spent at the grocery store. So if I spent like, after I got all these discounts, it's like by the time I get these discounts, $240 of groceries comes down to like $190 of groceries. And then on top of that, I'm getting the 5% cash back on that. And so I've saved like, for no reason, I saved like $60 of free money for no reason, just because I have the discount card and then I'm using the credit card. And the thing is, what do I immediately do that same week? The money I was going to spend in the grocery store, I pay down the credit card so I don't have any interest on it. I don't carry a balance on it. I got free money for no reason, but by just using it that way. When I signed up for the credit card, they said, oh, if you spend this much money in 3 months, we'll give you $500. For nothing. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to literally just pay the light bill with the credit card and then take the same money that I was going to pay the light bill with and pay the balance and have zero interest. And you're going to give me $500 for no good reason. Thank you. Because I won't be tricked. I cannot be tricked. I cannot be betrayed. Like, so I just free money. I read the rule book and said, by virtue of the rules, I followed the rules to the letter, not as you intended them, but as you wrote them, and I profited.
It's not just reading the rule books, but it's also how does it apply to me? How do I use it? How do I actually play? Because, and the thing is that it's plainly there, it's not like it's a trick as far as like, it's not hidden, because like I have an Amazon card and I show you guys a screenshot all the time of like, I get like free stuff constantly whenever I buy stuff on Amazon. It's like, this is, you would have spent $9 and then it's like crossed out and it says 0 because I use my Amazon card for stuff. And so because of that, I just build up the cash back and then I don't have to pay for stuff when I buy things on Amazon, and I get like everything that I can on Amazon. And not just like with that, but like you get cash back, you get points with other stuff, with other credit cards that you can use towards travel. So it's like, but again, like what Roberto was saying is like, you have to like pay it down every month. So not actually pay interest. So like I just have auto pay set up where it just pays off the balance every single month. So I just have it's on auto pay and I use my credit cards for everything. So what I did was I made a spreadsheet for every credit card that I have. And then I wrote down which ones give me points for this and which one gives me cash back for this and that. And so I wrote everything down so that I would know what credit card I use for what.
The thing that I think like is the elephant in the room for people though is, okay, but I don't make enough money or whatever. And I lived that life for a very long time until I didn't. And in some cases, it's that you don't make enough money. I'll address that. I'm the make money online guy. But also, people don't look at how they spend money, because like I ended up auditing myself, and then I realized how much money when I was an employee. I was like, wait a minute, I'm spending this much on my lunches every day instead of bringing a lunch from home. I'm spending this much money going to the coffee shop on my walks because I want to get out of the office and I like want to go get coffee, or I do a coffee. Like, it's like, all right. And so I started doing things like I got everybody else to give me their coffee orders as long as they cover mine. And like, and so I didn't spend the money anymore. I started bringing lunch from home. I also got everybody else in the office to start doing these weekly potlucks, and then there'd be leftovers. And like I got really invented. I'm not kidding. I tell you that I was frugal AF and still am and everything like that. I got clever with it. I got clever with it. And so because I audited, I was like, oh my God, I'm spending hundreds of dollars a month on this. Or I started realizing when I worked at the mall, I started realizing, damn, I keep buying snacks and I keep buying them at mall prices. I should literally just like buy a bunch of stuff and load it up from the grocery store and put it in the fridge upstairs at work. I started to pay attention and say, this is stupid. Everything I'm paying overpriced for everything for convenience, and convenience is costing me. I realized that. And so there were things like that.
Convenience when you can't afford it is costing you.
And that was a big thing. And then when I got older, even when I started making more money, I realized that even though I wasn't necessarily getting or buying more things, I was still consuming more in ways. I had subscriptions and things I wasn't even like really taking advantage of, or things I was like, you know what? I'm also just doing this for convenience. I can like just not do that, or I can wait on it, like, because I was like, oh, early access, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, I can just wait and just not do things. Oh, I'll go to matinees, or I started to talk to my friends. It's like, hey, let's only go out to this club or bar on the nights with no cover. Or, hey, we need to get in with these people, and then we just skip to the front of the line and we don't pay the cover anymore. And we started doing that. Oh, hey, we need to, pregame and spend less money at the bar when we go, because we're going for the social aspect. And yeah, we want to be buzzed. We're going for the social aspect. We'll pregame and we cover the drinks of the person who initially drove, and then somebody has to drive, be good to drive back. And that's how we figured it. Like I kept finding and inventing ways to be cheap, and I think it's important to look at your spending. Now, in terms of making more money though, the first way to make more money is for those of you at a job is straight up start reading and watching YouTube videos and reading books about negotiating a raise. And just negotiate a damn raise. And I know it sounds easier said than done, but like, don't ask, don't get. Closed mouths don't get fed. Ask for a raise. If you can't get a raise, here's a trick. When you got your job, you probably had no experience and you were green, and you've been there and your parents tricked you into the thinking that being loyal to a company matters. Wake up, it's 2020. It surely doesn't. Okay, that's done and that's over with. And I'm sorry, I hate to break it to everybody. I hate to be that guy. Most people, if your parents didn't make their money after the iPhone was invented, they're probably giving you bad advice. So I'm that guy. Blame me from your Lambo, but the or your Lexus or whatever you like, but like your Tesla. But the truth is that culture doesn't work anymore. It doesn't exist. And if you look at everybody who believed in it, except for a handful of people, and maybe if your parents got lucky, look at everybody who's 65 and retired. They're all doing Uber and DoorDash for a reason. Okay, it isn't because they're lonely and they don't have enough. Retirement's a joke. There's like, if you didn't invest in the stock market, if you didn't buy and own your house and your real estate or whatever, retirement's a joke. People can't live off of Social Security and off of pensions. It is a bad joke. My own grandmother went through it before she passed away. It is a fucking joke. It's a travesty. So what I'm telling you is the truth is when you don't be loyal to a job. You work somewhere 3 to 5 years. If you're not moving up, if you ain't got raises, if you ain't got promoted, what you do is you take the leverage and your experience. Now that you're not green anymore, you go find the competitor and you stay in the industry. You go to the competitor and you go and you apply for the next job above yours, and you get it, and you quit, and you walk into that promotion, you walk into that raise.
Now, what do you say for people who are freelancers and don't have a boss to ask a raise for?
If you're freelancers, you need to double down and look at your pipeline, and you need to look at client acquisition. And when you can't have clients, you're a freelancer. You're in control of your schedule and in control of your time. You need to start building shit. You need to start building things. I have a new phrase and a new rule, Romina. People can work for a living or they can build for a living. Guess which one the rich do? Like you can work for a living or you can build for a living. Poor people work for a living until the day they die, and they die in debt and they with regrets. Rich people build for a living, and what they build gets passed on so that their children have it, and they either build on top of it or coast. They don't have to work for their living.
Yeah,
that's options. And if you want to cry, everyone should stop crying about privilege, and every single person should fight tooth and nail to make sure that their kid and their grandkid is privileged AF. That your kid and your grandkid never gets abused by someone, never gets exploited by someone, is never leveraged by anybody. You're probably not going to change the world, so change your bloodline. You're not going to change the world. Change things for your bloodline. Build stuff and give it like you want to cry about how selfish everybody is? Start with yourself and don't be selfish, and then sacrifice everything to the next generation of your bloodline. Sacrifice everything so that they all get things. And like, you want to cry about people being wealthy by inheritance? Make sure it's your kid and make sure it's your grandkid. Don't cry about it. And then go upside the head of everybody that ever says a damn word to them, because you worked to make sure and you sacrificed to make sure that no one ever takes advantage of them, that no one ever belittles them, that no one ever is sexist or misogynist or racist toward them or belittles them for being different or any of that nonsense, because they have options, because you worked damn hard so they don't have to. You pay it forward. You pay it forward. You build that power, you build that legacy so they have options and they're not beholden, and so they never have to bend, bow, break, or compromise.
Roberto, I have a question to follow up with that. Will you adopt me?
Like, I hear you. I feel that. But like, for real, my thing about building things is
Audrey, go find your own Roberto. He's adopting me. He wants a single child. He doesn't want 2 kids.
You know what? It's like, you can do it in the Sith tradition. You could, the last one standing.
Hey,
the last one standing is my successor.
I'm ready. Hey man, we should.
but for real though, the building things is down to do work that pays you more than once as a priority. When you freelance, you're self-employed. You gave yourself a job. So you are accountable to your clients, but you're not answerable to anyone about your process, your methods, and your schedule. Just what you deliver on, just your results. And that's really good. Being able to just be beholden to results is really good. It's a good start. But the thing is, you're still beholden to your health, and the fact that if you work, it's like, what if you don't have the capacity to work because you didn't account for getting sick, or something happens with your mental health, or something happens in your family, there's a tragedy, you can't, you're stuck, you're still stuck, you don't have options. But when you build something that pays you more than once, you're in a position to have options. And that's what I learned, because I transitioned from freelancing, and it wasn't just that I moved then into consulting, because my clients were like, well, you're out marketing us. We like your creative, but we like your strategy more, and we'd rather pay you more for strategy. So I was moved into consulting and strategy, then later coaching. But it occurred to me, build something that pays me more than once. So even in doing client work, I started saying, wait a minute, all right, I'm doing coaching calls with people. I'm just going to set up a membership and it's going to be recurring. And so I set it up to where, great, you guys are paying for access and experience more than once. Now I was still trading time in that, but I had more control, and it was a group model and it's leverage, which means I was trading a fixed amount of time every week and every month. But the benefit from that is, just because more people joined my coaching group didn't mean I spent more time on my coaching group, because it's scalable, because it's a group program. I'm spending the same amount of time every week, but I can make more money as more people come in because they're there as a group, as a collective versus the one-on-one. So that was one thing that worked. The other one was the affiliate marketing stuff. When I was in retail, when I was a kid and I was making low wages, they offset it sometimes by giving us a percentage of commissions or giving us bonuses for getting people to sign up for the store credit card. And so they gave us these bounties. I'm like, wait a minute, Amazon is the same thing. All these other websites are the same thing. Wait a minute, free Audible books, and they have free trial of Audible and I get $5. That's the same thing as like when you sign people up for the membership cards when you work at retail. It's like they give you bonus payouts on that. It's like, like sign people up for Epidemic Sound. Like, so I got really into affiliate marketing, as you guys know, and I make about maybe close to 6 figures a year now just as an affiliate marketer alone on top of all of my other stuff. And so I do like $9,000 a month on affiliate marketing. And again, stuff that pays me more than once. So I don't always have to hustle the affiliate marketing. The content does it. But I started focusing on the subscription model affiliate programs where people pay $5, $10, $50 a month for a software or a service. And then I'm getting like 30%, 50% of a cut of that. And it's in perpetuity, which means I signed people up 4 years ago and they still like the thing. I'm still making money. And I haven't, that's right. People say passive income is bullshit because it's cute and it makes you be able to check a bingo card that says maybe you're not a fake guru after all. If you say passive income is bullshit and it's not real. But everybody who says that is actually just like kind of being disingenuous because it's popular and because, or they're like trying to have a larger nuanced conversation, because some people are saying it just to trick you into a larger conversation that is important and is true, is legitimate. But there is passive income because most of your bosses that could probably put someone in charge of the business, walk away and collect a check and never work again. And that's what your employer can do. And some people say, well, that's not passive because work's still getting done, but not by the person who's collecting the money. They're using passive income through leverage. So there's passive income through leverage, and that can be humans or it can be automation. And then there's also passive income through licensing, which is royalties, hopefully in perpetuity. I licensed a course to LinkedIn. I get royalties in perpetuity. I've been making money for 3 years off of work I did, and I still make money, and it's still one of their most popular business courses. I don't have to do anything, and I've been making money for 3 years doing nothing since I did that, and they paid me up front on top of it. So I just keep getting paid for licensing that course to them.
Now I'm going to ask you what would you say for someone who's an artist and who isn't, because not everybody is fully capable of like doing the coaching thing, or is not, that's not really like their jam, right? So let's say, it's an artist, either they're a painter or writer, like easy. What's your idea for that?
Easy. If you're an artist, you can do what I did actually at the earliest stages, but it's better now. I wasn't great at it back then. I didn't understand its potential. Print on demand, Romina. Print on demand products, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, a lot of stuff. And the thing is, right now, and people are like, well, how am I going to sell that, or how am I going to do that? It markets itself for you in some ways, because right now, everyone, and I'm not making it political, but everyone's so invested in their identity, whatever it is. We all did the personality test. Someone could just print INFTJ on a shirt and make it look cool and do a whole brand off of the personality quizzes, print on demand. And I guarantee you, people like, where'd you buy that? I want my personality on my shirt. Everyone's so invested in their identity. Like you could do that. You could, like my friend Nick Nimmin, he just brought out this shirt that says streamer, and like people are loving it. Just like my creator shirts and hoodies. It's like, people are invested in their identity. And if you're an artist, you can tap into that in a new way, especially right now. Might as well take advantage of the chaos and just go with it. And you can tap into meme culture. It may not be your original idea or character art, but the thing is, you can still profit by way of your skill that frees you up to do whatever you want without having to sell it. So like people, their thing is, artists make the mistake of thinking that the thing that's their vision, my baby, is the thing that's going to make them money. It's about using your skill to give people what they want, so that you can buy back enough time to do whatever you want, whether they like it or not. And then you don't need the approval, you don't need the praise, you don't need the applause for your work. You can just do your work for the sake of doing it. You can do art for art's sake if you make it profitable doing what people want with your skills. And so to do that from a build something that you can sell that pays more than once side, print on demand gives you that in e-commerce through that. There's also licensing that you could do. If you don't want to do print on demand, you can actually license the usage of your art in terms of stock art and stock websites, Envato, Adobe, all of those, Creative Market. There's so much there, and it's digital, so it's in perpetuity. I built the YouTube starter kit. It's not an online course. I built graphic design, Photoshop templates for YouTubers. I could make another $20,000 this year if I make an Instagram carousels template bundle. There's like, it's that popular to do certain things with your skills artistically that could serve someone's commercial purposes or just someone's satisfaction of, oh, that looks dope. So that's what artists, musicians right now can license their stuff directly to the market and get royalty money off of Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music right now through DistroKid. And I have small friends who are small YouTubers that they're making a little bit of money on their YouTube stuff with their music YouTube channel, but their real money is coming because they like listen to me and they went to like DistroKid and pumped their music out into that ecosystem, and they're getting all these streams. People don't even know who they are. They just know that they like that song and they're making bank. You're a writer. Well, that one becomes obvious. Kindle Direct Publishing. Royalties in perpetuity from Amazon, the largest bookseller in the world. Direct to consumer is right there for artists. It's the new economy. It's direct to consumer. You used to have trades, and no one used to have employers back in the day, aside from if you worked for the nobility or if you joined the military, the army. Everyone was basically a mercenary. Everybody had to provide for their village, for their community. Passersby go to like, oh, it's market day, I have to go and peddle my wares, or it's market day, I have to go and, you know, sell my trade in the market this month and everything like that. Oh, I don't have a talent, I have to go and apprentice myself and learn from the local blacksmith or whoever, or the butcher and everything like that. That's how it was. And the gig economy and direct to consumer and e-commerce, it's bringing it all back. You need a job, you need an income source, and you need actually as many income sources as you can get. That's how the difference between rich people and poor people is poor people have 0 to 1 income sources, and rich people have 7 to 12.
Right.
And the difference is working for a living versus building for a living.
I feel like I haven't been talking too much, but this is really interesting to listen to. Because I don't know.
Yeah, what are you doing over there? Are you drawing?
No.
Really? Did you just do that?
Yeah.
Show us.
That's actually pretty dope. Like
wait, show us. Yeah, show us the other thing.
Lines.
But no, that's not lines. That's a pattern that could actually probably be a freaking shirt.
Like you could sell that on Etsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could sell that on Etsy, like a little print. Like you could frame that up, and like people would buy that to put up on their.
Digital wise, she could license it as a pattern in any print on demand shop and like make multiple times $5 without having to do labor. That's the difference.
Audrey, just send it over to us. We'll handle it. Don't worry about it. You just keep drawing.
Pattern makers make money right now because then other people who make print on demand products like me can license someone else's pattern or someone else's icon. That fire symbol that you did, your Ember symbol.
I copied the emoji that's on the screen.
The emoji,
right now.
but thing is, people buy vector artwork like that. People buy vector art packs and things and buy single digital downloads and you make money.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of these like people on TikTok promoting their either their artwork or like stickers or their clothing brand. It's probably a really good way to like
ding ding ding
get a bunch of new clients if you do that.
Oh yeah. I mean, those are customers because like they're buying something, they're not getting a service. So like product like TikTok's a good way to move product in that market of people who like artsy stuff.
And even if it's like smaller things like stickers, it's normally pretty cheap. So more likely
good margin on stickers. There's a good margin on stickers.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be like a good side thing to do if you were into making little like doodles or designs or something.
People make
Speaking of
bank on it.
stickers.
You'd be surprised. I know people who've made 6 figures doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
I mean, I
stickers.
follow a couple artists who do stuff like that online, and they sell, stickers or stuff with like their cute little drawings and things like that. Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting topic. What would you say for writing? So I've been doing more of my poetry stuff. Like, what would you say for that? Because like I do have my nonfiction book, which I'm working on, and I know that will basically sell itself because of the topic.
Yes.
And I have really great case studies and stuff. So, but for my more creative stuff, like my poetry, what would you say about that kind of thing? Like, how would you build that into revenue generating thing?
I would read it out loud as an audiobook using ACX, and I would put it up in Amazon as spoken word poetry, and I would let the beatniks buy it in perpetuity, and I would collect the royalties from Amazon on that.
Okay. That's interesting. What do you think about that, Audrey? Do you have any ideas?
For your book?
Yeah, not the nonfiction one. The like if I was doing poetry book.
Promote it on TikTok.
Okay, but what if I don't have anything on TikTok, right?
It doesn't matter. Like, if it goes viral, you're good. You just need to make something.
I love Audrey. Audrey's like, if it goes viral, you're good.
You just need to give people like,
the big IF. Okay, what if I don't have a TikTok? What if I'm not a camera person?
The most, like, ridiculous TikTok ad and like make a joke out of it, and it might go
What
viral.
if I'm hideous and I don't like being on camera?
Dude, there are TikTokers who have masks on and they're going viral. It doesn't matter.
Actually, if your appearance is like whatever or anything like that, I mean, look at and I'm not making fun of him at all, but look at I think it's Ricky Bruick. Like, yeah,
but that's a very specific case. Also, what if I don't want to be on camera because I'm
okay? If you don't want to be on camera,
I don't feel comfortable. All
right, watch this. You do what I did in the early days is you do software tutorials on YouTube. You could also do them in Skillshare. You do software tutorials in YouTube. You also have affiliate links for the software, and it's subscription based on YouTube. You never show your face. You just use your voice, and you make money off the YouTube ads. You potentially get sponsors. You also have the affiliates, and they pay every month. 30% usually commissions, sometimes 50% in perpetuity, recurring income every month. So if it were me, primary example is I could build an entire faceless YouTube channel that does nothing but teaches people how to build online courses using Kajabi and Teachable. And why would I do that? Because they pay 30% commissions and it's monthly recurring forever, which means by the time I get 50 people after doing like 20 or 30 tutorials, if I get 50 people signed up to, say, Kajabi, every one of those 50 people is worth a minimum of $45 a month, and at 50 people there's a $500 a month extra bonus payment. So the math dictates that I would be making $2,750 a month minimum on top of the YouTube ad revenue every single month doing that, and it would all compound and add up over time. And then I go, okay, I've done these Kajabi tutorials, time to move on and do some Teachable tutorials, do the same thing. Oh, time to move on to ConvertKit. What other software as a service can I make tutorials for? And I would just do that in perpetuity, getting affiliate commissions, and then eventually somebody also sponsor you. Oh, this brought to you by Skillshare, this brought to you by Squarespace, this brought to you by whatever, Raid Shadow Legends, whatever it is.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, we stop at that one, but like, you see what I'm saying? So like, okay, you want to show your face. Tutorial channels, the value isn't, oh, your face, you're like, no, it's, you gave me a clean, concise, step-by-step process that I can follow and accomplish my goal. When I spend money on the software that runs my business. And by targeting affluent people who need to use software and have the money to pay for it every month, you're guaranteed to have a buying audience, which is more valuable to sponsors, more valuable to advertisers on YouTube. You get probably a $20 CPM. You get a minimum of a $10 CPM. You beat the hell out of all the entertainment YouTubers.
Dude, I want a $10 CPM.
All right, and I get it, because at that point, it doesn't matter if my poetry book doesn't make any money, because I'm already making money and I'm just doing the poetry book because it's
fun or enjoyable or fulfilling.
All right, now what would you say to Unbox Warehouse in the chat? Who says,
about it.
I wrote a fiction. Okay, you can't solve all of your problems with TikTok, Audrey.
Actually, you probably could.
Wait, hold on. All right, Audrey, would you like to read Unbox Warehouse's comment?
It says, I wrote a fiction novel called Chasing the Orchid. It's on Amazon. Took 10 years, made no money. See, if you made a TikTok and you said that,
I'm gonna look at the cover, and I bet you the cover.
Oh no, Roberto's pulling it up. I'm sorry, Unbox Warehouse.
No, but literally,
still here.
Is like, if you do something ridiculous, or you're like,
actually, the cover is not bad.
And your anniversary,
okay.
And
Thank goodness.
People might go buy it.
The cover isn't
Audrey,
bad.
what are you still talking about?
The cover isn't bad,
Genius,
but it doesn't communicate. But it doesn't really communicate much of anything. But it's like, but here's the thing. Okay. It's the marketing.
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up so I can pull it up.
It's a marketing problem. It's a marketing problem because it's got 9 ratings and it's got all 5-star ratings, which means when people actually read this, they seem to enjoy it. So here's the thing. It's only available in paperback and it's only available in Kindle Unlimited. You don't have it. It doesn't look like it's available in ebook format. I don't know why. When I look at it anyway, when I'm logged in, I can't buy it as an ebook at all. So you'd make more money if it was available as an ebook, because some people, they just don't like collecting clutter, especially in this age.
It's only on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah. So the thing is, you need it to be able to be Kindle to where it can be purchased completely
without having unlimited.
Because unlimited is a subscription, and the thing is, you'd be revenue sharing with the subscription thing, and it's not that much for the Kindle Unlimited. So I don't think that's a great way to make the money. So it needs to be made available as an ebook as well, Unbox Warehouse, and so you need that. The other thing is, there was no marketing, I don't think, as far as a marketing push behind this. So when Andy Weir wrote The Martian, all the publishing houses told him off and told him, F you wasted 3 years of your life making this piece of crap or whatever. And so the difference, though, was he had a blog and he had a website, and he'd been like promising the book to his audience, and so he released it there on his website for free. But people were like, I want to read this on my Kindle. I want to read this on iBooks or whatever. And so he's like, all right, just for my fans, then I'll just put it up here, and like you have to charge money. So he did. And the thing is, 30,000 people bought it in a month. It was an overnight bestseller success, and all those publishing companies that told him off had to come crawling back. And why? Because it was available as an ebook, and there was a marketing push, and it got some traffic. It got great rave reviews, which pushed it in the algorithm, and it worked. And then that's when Miramax decided to option the screenplay. Matt Damon's the leading man, and the rest is history, as they say. So you need marketing push. You need marketing push behind anything you do. Right now, relevancy is trading in attention. And so Audrey's not even wrong about the TikTok thing. There's probably book people. There's probably a book community.
There's book like TikTok. Like you just need to get in that community.
Yeah, there's probably like TikTok book clubs for real. And then from reading this, it looks like this seems to me kind of like almost like Gone Girl, the way that I'm reading the summary here, or something like that. It looks like there's something here that makes this very intrigued, and it's like, oh, plagued by night terrors, hallucinations. This seems very intriguing, and it's not, and it seems like almost like it's fiction, but I wonder if it fits into like crime fiction, because you have a lot of people that are obsessed with like crime fiction, true crime, so on and so forth, and everything like that. Being able to get a review copy into the hands of people who have podcasts like that, books clubs, readers clubs, knowing the influencers in the market of your product. I'll give you a primary example. When I do my print on demand clothing line, my secret clothing line brand that doesn't have my name on it, you know what I'm doing at cost for my marketing? I'm literally going to, because also the thing that I'm designing, because I can't give you guys my idea, but I'll tell you this. It applies to everybody, and everybody on some superficial level is into it, or someone in their family, or they're dating somebody that is into it, and so they'll end up buying something to do with this at some point. That's the most I'll say about it in terms of t-shirts, hoodies, this thing that I'm gonna do. But what I would do is I know all of these influencers, even if they don't know it's my brand, and I know their P.O. box stuff and everything, and I could handpick 10 people that I know that if I send them this, they're going to end up wearing it in their content, and people are going to end up asking about it, and they're going to say, oh, it's this brand, it's this thing, and then all of a sudden the Instagram I built for that brand blows up. All of a sudden the website gets traffic because I managed to hack somebody with 10 million followers wearing it in their TikTok, in their Instagram, in their YouTube video, and I rinse and repeat that process as many times as possible, and my marketing budget is cost of product to do that for the advertising. I didn't even have to offer them a brand deal. I didn't have to do anything for them other than send them something that also, because there's an identity play here, is I send them the version of this thing that is them in their size to their P.O. box, maybe even one for their spouse or their kid, and that really guarantees that they're gonna wear it at some point, and that's game over. That's marketing.
What do you guys think about Aaron Piepert's suggestion regarding releasing the poetry as a podcast?
It definitely probably exists.
Release it as an Alexa skill. Oh, you mean just
like one, and that's it?
Release it as an Alexa skill.
What's that?
So Alexa skills are things where like you can read flash briefing or play trivia games, or you can ask for daily motivation. And so if you do like a daily motivation thing and someone says, Alexa, give me like some daily motivation, or to get blah, 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 like they could wake up every morning and part of their routine is they read your poetry.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to end up doing it for motivational quotes. I'm gonna have like Roberto 365, and like it'll be 365 days of motivation and hustle. So like, yeah, I
like that.
Yeah.
Diaz in the chat says Audrey should make more of those drawings. I would get one of those. You see, Audrey?
Okay.
What are you doing?
I just ripped off.
Cancel your YouTube.
Emojis.
Close down your YouTube channel. Start drawing more of those little squares. Or better yet, turn your YouTube channel into a drawing channel.
No. No.
All right, everyone. Today we're going to paint a happy fire.
Just all different versions of the same one.
All right, today we're going to paint a happy tree, but it's on fire.
Why are they all fire related?
I have an idea for Audrey. For Audrey's
log cabin, but it's on fire.
See, this is Audrey's Playing with Fire series.
Oh
so she's going to do Bob Ross,
but only fire related things.
Fire related.
But you're going to set all of Bob Ross's you're going to every one of Bob Ross's great pieces of work, but on fire.
Yes.
That should be your April Fool's thing. That it'll be like as if you're doing a Playing with Fire episode, copying Bob Ross's style. But it's not.
On fire.
You're just gonna set everything. You have to go to a thrift shop and just buy some Bob Ross looking paintings and freaking just set them on fire.
No, you'd have to do it yourself.
No, you make the thing.
All right. We'll do it yourself.
But then after she's done, you play it straight like it's a Playing with Fire video. You do it straight, but then at the end, you set the painting on fire.
On accident. in quotes.
And you have to buy a wig.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, I want
This
to be
is-
Bob Ross for Halloween.
This is your April Fool's video for
Yes.
2021.
Well, now you guys just told everyone
like,
about
You
it.
think that people aren't gonna
No,
remember
they
this
never.
happened 3 days
No.
from now?
No.
Okay.
Next year, nobody's gonna remember that.
Diaz will. I'm going to see that comment in a year.
But kind of to loop things back as we like finish up the thing, like I remember that like my broke story, because I was really broke, you guys. Like I talk about it quite often. Like I was like straight up broke, and it wasn't that I was making so many horrible choices or anything like that. That's a myth. It was that I wasn't educated nearly enough about money. I didn't understand. I didn't understand even the value of my own skills. That's a big deal, because I found out, like, as I became older, I realized, oh my God, in the jobs that I had that were office jobs, I was grossly underpaid because I didn't understand how to negotiate salaries back then. I didn't understand the value of I didn't know to look up online how much, and I didn't know to ask people, because it was so taboo to talk about money. It didn't occur to me to figure out like what somebody that works in the industry that's not at the company I was gets paid, and to ask them and to figure that out, and to make sure that they made sure that they are getting paid correctly, and to, you see what I'm saying? Open transparency around how much money we make in order to do things and how much we charge for things is what protects people from, if you're worried about, oh, exploitation. If you willingly signed a contract, in most cases, you're not being exploited. Sorry to say. Sorry to break it to you guys. Sorry
You volunteered.
I've ended the oppression Olympics. I've ended the oppression Olympics. And the thing is, everybody loses. And so the answer to it is, when it's minimum wage work, the reality is often that you are too replaceable. You're too disposable in that situation. Again, not as a human being, but the commodity of what you do is not that valuable, and is not that difficult. The level of difficulty means that there's no scarcity. It's something that anyone can be trained to do in an hour, in a week, in a day. There's no difficulty in replacing you, especially when there's unemployment. There's no difficulty in replacing you. But when you have a skill or a trade, like, and it doesn't even have to be something like graphic design or something technology, there's a shortage of plumbers and electricians and carpenters. The trades are right there. They're not saturated at all. And then also people want quality work for that. Reputation building matters. Things like that matter. Literally just being the first one in a Google search for that will do it. Like for the trades, it's not expensive to go to school for the trades. You don't end up in a lot of debt. It doesn't require more than a high school education in terms of college degree. And the thing is, in a lot of cases, people doing trades make more than people with degrees a lot of times. And they make more not only on paper, but in reality, because of the overwhelming student loan debt, and those people who have those really high paying salaries, they have massive amounts of compound interest on their student loans that they'll be out running or ignoring for the rest of their lives, or a good portion of their adult life. So all that money you think they're making, well, a lot of it's getting eaten up in the interest of the student loans. And a lot of it's also getting eaten up in some of the habits that comes from their fancy job and having to be with their fancy friends and coworkers and those fancy lunches while they work their way up the corporate food chain, while usually being depressed about it the entire way, by the way. But like, so what I'm like, if you look at it, elevator repair technician is a $65,000 a year job that doesn't require more than a high school degree and is on the job training. That's like $65,000 a year. That's $10,000 more than the median average salary of Americans, which when I say it's the median average salary, that means that half the country is making that or less. So it's a job that already pays above that. And the thing is, it's also something that most people aren't competing for you against. Okay? So there's all of these things. If you decide to be a doctor or a lawyer, you can't even do that in a small town and make good money. There will be people who are doing jobs that required almost no debt in terms of their education that will pay you more than that doctor. Like a doctor or lawyer in a small town only makes marginally more if they do it all than a mechanic in that same town. I'm not even joking about that. I know people like that. So you see what I'm saying? And not every doctor makes a lot of money. Like the pediatricians don't necessarily make a crap ton of money. You know, you want to make money and you want to get a degree. You don't even have to be a doctor per se. You can be an anesthesiologist. There's, but my thing is that people don't think about money the way that but they're not educated about it. Like, people don't understand that money is not exchanged for labor. It's exchanged for the value that labor created. Because if you get it wrong or you don't do it right, you're not getting paid. If you say, paint that blue, and it ends up being red, the labor wasn't valuable. Your time wasn't valuable. You're not going to get compensated for that because you did it wrong.
Right.
And you're not going to be trusted to do it right again. And so you're not going to get paid. So, all right, your time, your labor, it was worth $0 because it produced 0 desirable results. You are paid in exchange. Money is exchanged for value. When you decided that that value was tied to time, that was a bad deal and a bad bargain, which is why it's better to move to a results-based model. And the only reason that we have a time-based model like that was it made it accessible, and people traded in for the certainty of a paycheck instead of having a direct-to-consumer trade where they have to live hand-to-mouth. That fear that, like, people traded in freedom for security by accepting the hourly deal. That's what happens when you sign an employment contract. And I'm not belittling anybody who's working or working class. I'm explaining to you the nature of the deal that you made. And the thing is, if you had been told at a younger age what your options were, you would have put yourself in a position to not have to take that deal, and would have given yourself more options and given yourself more advantages, because you would have had time to train and to prepare and to focus and to set goals. And I know this because I didn't know any better either. And that's why I was broke. I was broke because I didn't know any better. I was broke because I followed in the same path and the same footsteps of every other broke son of a bitch before me. And by that I mean everybody in the immediate vicinity around me. That was like, oh, you're 17 now, go work at the mall. Okay, because that's what you do. It was dumb. I should have just kept mowing lawns because I was making $50 for an hour to 2 hours of work because I was working toward a result. If I got it done fast, I made the same amount of money. Versus working at the mall making $6 an hour, I could work all day and not make $50. Oh, it's gonna be an air conditioning.
And one of the things is the like, when you sign up to work with a company and you are exchanging your time for a paycheck for X amount of dollars every month that you know that you're going to get, you're also agreeing to do the limited amount of what you need to do in order to provide value. And what I mean by that is, if you
work any harder, you don't make any more money.
Right. And also, if you are, for example, a graphic designer and you are a freelancer, you are in charge of trying to find clients. You are in charge of marketing. You are in charge of branding. You are in charge of all these things, of outreaching, getting leads, trying to find these customers.
You have to supply your own hardware.
Right. Exactly. And when you are just employed by a company, all you have to do is show up. And the company has done all of those other things.
They provide the resources, aka the means of production.
Right.
They invested in that. You didn't go and buy that camera. You didn't buy that laptop. It's not yours. It's what's assigned to you. They put the upfront money for you to be able to use that to create any value. They take the risk and the legal liability and the responsibility for the work being done correctly. And they also went out and pursued the relationship with the customer. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to do any of that. So you don't get the bitch that they take the lion's share of the revenue. 4 R's of entrepreneurship that separate employers from employees. And when I told somebody, by the way, a client of mine who was as an MBA in business, he was like, I paid $90,000 to not learn that. And you just taught me what entrepreneurship is and isn't in like one damn sentence in 90 seconds. And I paid $90,000 to jackholes who never built a business to not learn that. And I was like, and that's why you hired me.
Yeah.
So
All right. I think with that we can wrap this up. I feel like we've dropped a lot of nugs of gold here. Audrey, do you have any last words of wisdom?
No.
Wow. Incredible. All right. Well,
this has been
Roberto,
really
you should think about your outro since Audrey over here doesn't have anything to contribute.
Well, Audrey has an idea, and that'll buy me time because all I have to do is think of your nickname for this one. Because I already figured out Audrey's.
The stage is set.
Yeah, you were having a thought. You were having a thought out loud there a moment again, Audrey.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it's maybe some of the people watching or listening are in the same spot as me, where like they don't know too much about this stuff, and it's helpful to just listen, you know. Because I could interject and talk about random stuff, but like I don't know enough. Like, I don't know.
Next podcast, we'll talk about something Audrey knows everything about.
Yeah, TikTok.
No, I don't know anything about TikTok. I still don't like TikTok.
Wow, like you don't like TikTok? You're technically Gen Z, right, Audrey?
Yeah. I mean, okay, that's
You're
a lie.
a Zoomer who doesn't like TikTok.
No, it's a lie. I like TikTok. I don't like it because I haven't figured out what I want to do on TikTok.
Okay,
right, and so you just promote it and you force poets to get on TikTok.
I think it's a really good resource if like you're an artist and you want to get your stuff out there.
Yeah. But what I cannot do, I despise.
Yeah. That's why I'm just like
what I cannot attain, I will despise.
And plus TikTok can be frustrating sometimes. The dumbest stuff goes viral.
Right.
That happens everywhere, so
but yeah, it's good to just learn about stuff. And I mean, I'm always open to learning. I feel like even years after doing the same things or performing the same skills, I still learn stuff that I didn't know the day before. It happens all the time.
Dude, this is financial related.
All right.
So today I redid my whole like estimate and budget sheet and stuff. Because I keep getting confused, like invoices and estimates and getting people to sign things before. Like, it's been a whole mess. So I think today I literally took like a couple hours to just be like, okay, this is what software I'm using for invoices. This is what I'm using for getting a signature. I don't know, beginner freelance problems. But literally, it's been a little all over the place. So that was exciting for me. I don't know.
That's good. It's one step in the right direction.
Yeah. I was so excited. Like, that's why I was a little bit late, because I was finishing that up.
Now we got to figure out what Roberto's excuse was.
My excuse for what?
For showing up 15 minutes late.
Family stuff.
Typical. Roberto, do you have an outro yet, or do you still?
Yes, I do.
Oh, look, Audrey has a real mustache now.
It's the thumbnail.
All right, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. Thank you for listening to the No Assembly Required podcast, a podcast where we talk about nothing except the Benjamins. Thank you for listening. Filmed in front of a live YouTube audience. Please like and subscribe. Also, leave us a review in Apple Podcast, because you can't do it in Spotify because they refuse to do their damn job and make a better app than they have. Thank you for listening. This has been your trio of hosts, starting with RedRomina, Audrey, the artist formerly known as Ember, and of course, your mogul extraordinaire, the Monopoly Man reincarnated, your dark lord of the internet, Roberto Blake. Thank you for joining us on the No Assembly Required podcast, 8 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time every Thursday evening. Thank you so much.